What's up, guys? Welcome to another exciting episode of The Journey, where I share simple lessons from life experience. So today I'll be continuing from the episode that I started last week, and which I was talking about fear. But let me start this way. You know, when you read a certain book and the book sort of like take you back to the beginning so that you can understand everything that has been happening from then till now. That's the same way life is, because when you look at your journey through life, who you are today is as a product of where you are coming from. And when I mean where you are coming from, some of the experiences that you have been through in life. That is basically what makes you who you are today. You are a product of your yesterday, positive or negative. So that takes me to a journey where it all started from. So I'm taking a journey back to the past, just like blast from the past. And how I started interacting with fear. When you are new to something, you don't really know much about it. And basically that's how fear started out for me. And for me, I was just a little child as at then. Growing to my teenage years, within that period, I experienced what I will call the fear of the dark. And every one of us has encountered, or we are still experiencing fear in our day-to-day life as I am speaking to you right now. It might be fear of the dark, fear of failing, fear of losing that job, fear of losing that relationship. There is one fear or the other that we keep encountering on a day-to-day basis. For some, you have been able to deal with your fear in order for you to move on in life, while some are still stuck in their fear. For me, it's just like a story into the past that made me understand who I am. That's basically how it is for me. It's just like when you read the Bible and you read all the stories of everything that happened in the Bible, both the good, the bad, and the ugly side of it. Let me take for an instant the story of the Israelites. You could read about the suffering, then the introduction of Moses into the picture, and how they got delivered. And even before they got delivered, the saga that happened between Pharaoh, Moses, and God, before the final stroke of the firstborn in Egypt that led to the release of the Israelites. You see, those stories will make you understand who the Israelite is and where they are coming from. So I am taking a journey back into the past where I started dealing with fear in my life. And I'm talking about the fear of the dark. For me, growing up, I used to be afraid of the dark. Like walking alone in the dark was one thing I don't like. I don't like walking alone. It's either I'm with somebody, because I don't know whether something is just going to creep out from one place or the other and grab me. That's the level of fear that gripped me back then. And it lasted from my childhood days to my teenage years. I know some of you must have dealt with one level of fear while growing up. And for children, children have ways of dealing with fear. It might be cockroaches, it might be some of these characters that we see it might be teddy bear, and children just have a way of relating with fear at the level which they are. And one thing I've come to understand is, as you grow in life, fear grows as well. As we grow in life, fear begins to grow alongside. You cannot expect the fear of failure to start occurring to a child. No, he cannot even understand what that means. But the fear of something would definitely evolve around that child. It might be fear of cockroach, fear of rat, fear of a particular figure, maybe Mickey Mouse, all these people that wear costume character. And you just imagine you take a child to a party and he sees all these costumed figure, and the child begins to shiver. It begins to shake all over, like, mommy, or daddy, like he begins to cry. Why? Because of what he has seen. That is fear speaking to that child. And for me, relating with my childhood fears, helped me to understand a whole lot about me dealing with fear. Because there is a way our mind plays tricks on us when it comes to fear. Whether young, old, whatever age you are, whichever age it is, your mind will continue to play tricks on you. And that's one of the most important things you need to pay attention to when your mind begins to play tricks on you. When I'm afraid about something, all my body begins to vibrate. Like I start shivering from my head to my toe. If you ask me to write something at that particular moment, trust me, my writing will be scattered. It won't be straight or coordinated. That's how fear grips me. Because I assume that there is something in the dark that is about to come and scare me or grab me and take me away. That's how I interacted with fear while growing up. I was basically afraid of the dark. How did I solve it? Well, I didn't solve it until I was a teenager. A little bit more exposed to the idea that I can no longer be afraid of the dark. I just came to that realization that, every now and then I'm always looking over my shoulders anytime I'm walking in the dark, especially in the night, or I'm in a room alone in the dark. No, you cannot find me alone in the dark. Nah, I will find where there is light and stay there, rather than being alone and my imagination start playing weird games with me. And every one of us has been at this spot in our life where you experience fear. This is how fear started out for me. And me dealing with it is just basically coming to a realization that, I can no longer deal with this fear. But that was just stage 1 of my fear. And dealing with it basically was just like, in a point in my life where I gave my life to Christ, listening to messages, and one of that particular day, a message struck my heart, and that scripture shed more light into me that God has not given me the spirit of fear, but rather God has given me the spirit of boldness and of sound mind. Now, look at that word, boldness, sound mind. That is basically what fear gives you the opposite of. It gives you a crippled mind. It gives you fear. And the moment you have that, you realize that you're done. You just have to find a way of dealing with your fears. Like I said, this is the stage 1 for fear for me. I found a way of dealing with it. I went to God in prayers, I prayed about it, I talked to God about it. And for the stage 1, which was just this little part of it, He helped me through it. We deal with our fears differently, and however we deal with it, I hope that for those who have not been able to find a way of dealing with their fears, they can actually find a way of dealing with it. So in my next episode, I will be talking about how I encountered the next level of fear and how I dealt with it. But it dealt with me in a big way. So till my next episode, where I will be sharing how I dealt with fear at stage 2 of my life. So till I come your way again next week, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification button so that you can always be the first to know anytime I drop a new episode. I'd love to hear from you in the comment section below so that I can get to know how I'm doing and improving with my videos and content. So till I come your way again next week, have a great day.